Good evening, everyone. My name is Naquana Borrero, and it's a deep honor to join you tonight, not just as a recipient of I4J's legal empowerment training, but as a proud community law student, a newly certified housing stability law advocate, and someone who has spent her life committed to justice, equity, and the power of people. I've spent my career building and funding transformational change, whether through the arts, education, housing, or law. I'm actually a certified fundraising executive and the president of the Association of Fundraising Professionals for Arizona. So I have a different arc than many of you in here. I've worked in policy with the National Coalition of 100 Black Women and with Lead with Black Women Arizona. I've worked at the intersection of strategy and social justice, where advocacy becomes action and movements become sustainable. For me, fundraising has never been just about money. It has been about resourcing liberation and equipping communities to lead their own change. When I joined the executive team at the state's largest legal aid firm several years ago, it gave me a powerful entry point into the legal field. I led and collaborated on major strategic initiatives, communications, rebranding, pop-up legal outreach, and racial equity, all in service to expanding access to legal support for low-income Arizonans. But the deeper I got into the work, the clearer it became that the traditional legal system, as I encountered it, wasn't built for the kind of justice that our communities need. The tools were powerful, yes, but the rules, the pace, and the limits left too many people outside of the door. When what I needed and what my community needed was something different, something more radical in its compassion and accessible in its practice. And that's exactly what I found through I4J. I4J didn't just train me in the mechanics of housing law. It gave me a framework for transformative legal empowerment, one that honors lived experience, builds grassroots leaderships, and meets people where they are. Through I4J, I became a certified housing stability legal advocate, able to show up in court, stand beside tenants at a risk of eviction, and offer not only support, but real legal guidance. And that is what we need more than ever. I am in Maricopa County, and if you do not know, there were over 87,000 eviction filings in Maricopa County last year. That makes us number one in the country, and number one we do not want to be. Not more than 90% of tenants show up unrepresented, facing a system that moves at lightning speed, with the average eviction trial in Maricopa County lasting 90 seconds. Right. Black women, like me, are evicted at a rate disproportionately higher than any group. If we include children, though, the most evicted person in America is a Black child under 5. This is something we cannot stand for. These are not just numbers. They are lives, families, and futures. We cannot continue to treat housing as a privilege when it is a basic right. We cannot continue to center justice in institutions if we aren't willing to center it in community. Because what we need right now is more than awareness. We need radical compassion. Compassion that shows up in policy as presence and as pressure on these systems that were never designed to protect all of us. We need legal strategies rooted in liberation, not in preservation of the status quo. We need to build what I'm calling justice infrastructure, not to just respond to crisis, but to affirm dignity at every step of the journey. And what's powerful about the I4J model is that it doesn't rely on heroes. It relies on community. It teaches us that everyday people equipped with the right training and support can become agents of justice in their own neighborhoods. In a world that currently has normalized cruelty and disposability, Choosing to care deeply, strategically, and unapologetically is revolutionary. So my call to action for you is this. To our policymakers, invest in legal empowerment models like I4J financially. To funders, stop funding programs that don't fund people-centered movements. To communities and community members, keep showing up. Keep organizing, keep it pushing. And to each of us, practice radical compassion as a justice strategy. Because justice is not passive. It is not theoretical. It is deeply human work. It must be informed by those who live closest to the harm and led by those committed to transformative change. We are the infrastructure of justice. We are court companions, community educators, system disruptors, and builders of a more compassionate legal future. Let's be revolutionaries. Let's fund justice. Let's walk with our people. Let's do it together. And I want to leave you with a quote from our first African-American Supreme Court Justice, Thurgood Marshall, who said, "The measure of a country's greatness is its ability to have compassion in times of crisis." Thank you to the I4J team, Stacy, Rachel, Antonio, everybody for creating this program and allowing those of us who want to make a change to be a part of it. And also just thank you to the rest of the my classmates who are amazing folks to be able to experience and learn with.